Hey everyone, Mike Wolf here. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to another edition of Entrepreneurs Making a Difference. And this is a show where we connect different entrepreneurs from all over the world and help them to basically collaborate together and make a difference on the planet. And so I'm very happy today to have a good friend of mine, Minela Tatlic, on the show. And I'm going to read her bio here. She came from war-torn Bosnia at the age of 9. And when she came here, she didn't speak a word of English. Now she helps entrepreneurs with their branding to help them communicate their message so that it's clear for their customers what exactly they're going to get and how that product or service can improve their life. Also, Minela loves to do charitable work, and lately she's been involved in a nonprofit organization that sponsors orphaned youth to help them go to college in her former homeland of Bosnia. Minela believes that anything is possible and that you can do it if you put your mind to it. Her company is called Mogu, M-O-G-U, which means I can in Bosnian. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike. It's such a pleasure to be here, and hello, everyone.
It's great to have you here. So first of all, so you were 9 when you came to the U.S. and you didn't speak English. What was that like? What was that like for you?
For the most part, it's a sporadic bits of time that I remember. I don't really remember that time that well. I know that when I first came here, I saw different races for the first time, which is something that I didn't know existed while I was a little girl in Bosnia. I remember having a really, really good friend. I remember this American girl in Lodi. That's where we first moved to. And she was so nice to me, and I could sense that she was really nice to me, and she really cared about me, but I couldn't communicate with her at all. I didn't know anything she was saying, but that always stuck with me. I don't know, it was a pleasant, very inviting experience for the most part. And then there were some the negative experiences where I remember I was in 5th grade and someone said to me, because I couldn't speak English, and there was another Bosnian girl, she was helping me out, and we were speaking in our language, and one of the girls in school, 5th grader, said, "Go back to your country," and I thought, I would if I could, but
Wow.
there was all kinds of different experiences. For the most part, I loved it. I mean, I love being here, and especially I feel so fortunate that we live in California, that I moved to California, and that I now live in Southern California. I couldn't really imagine a better place to live for me. I love the sunshine. I mean, I love it all. I'm really
Yeah,
fortunate.
that's a great choice. You have to thank your parents for that. They did a good job. So,
It was like we won the lottery.
yeah, no kidding. So when did they speak English when they came here?
No,
Wow,
not at
wow.
all. Not at
I can't even imagine the struggle that they must have gone through, after leaving a war-torn country, as we mentioned, and then coming here and not speaking the language must have been very difficult.
It wasn't until about 2 years ago that I myself had the opportunity, like I couldn't imagine. But just about 2 years ago, I put myself in their shoes for a moment, or try to put myself in my mother's shoes. She was 28, 29 years old, and she already had 2 little kids. And they came here not knowing a word of English. And after, experiencing the war, having everything taken from them, I can't imagine exactly that experience and what that could have caused, and the fear that it could have caused them. But I'm just blown away by their strength, by their courage, by their tenacity, by everything that they've done. I'm just so inspired. I'm really blown away.
Well, that is very inspirational, and especially for you now, because here you are, somebody who didn't speak English. That was a little while ago, but not only is your English really amazing, I would never know it was your second language, but in addition, now you're actually helping people with their branding and sharing and helping them share their message. So that's quite a leap from where you started.
I definitely love words. I'm kind of a bit of a wordsmith. I'm very careful and conscious of every single word, because I think it comes from coming here at 9 and having to compare, the English word to the Bosnian word. And every word that I learn, I'm really conscious of learning the meaning of it, and I love learning new words. So I think it really helps me as far as branding. I have a good kind of like an intuitive sense for the right words to use to communicate. So, to communicate your message, or to communicate really your intention. I always focus on what the intention is.
Yeah, I love that. And words are very important, especially when you're in sales and entrepreneurship, and when you're doing your marketing. It's so important, the words that you choose, and it makes a big difference on the bottom line in a company. So let me ask you this: when did you discover that you like to be an entrepreneur?
Okay, so when I was 16 years old, I decided that I'm going to become an entrepreneur. I'm going to have my own business. I remember seeing my parents have their own business, and I remember sharing with others, when I grow up, I'm going to have my own business. When I grow up, I'm going to have my own business. And so since 16 years old, I've kind of known that I want to be an entrepreneur. And I know that I say that very lightly. It's like, oh, I've known since I was a little kid, but actually that lived as a dream, and only as a dream, for about 9 years. It took me about 9 years to actually step into being an entrepreneur, to realize what it would take, or how to become an entrepreneur.
Well, that's impressive that you started at such a young age, because that's usually something that people get into a job that they hate, and that quite often is what inspires them to be an entrepreneur. So good for you, and I know you have a lot of different entrepreneurial ventures, which is and you're very successful at all of them. So you're doing a great job.
Thank you, thank you.
So and I know you like to do a lot of giving back sort of things, and I know now you're helping the orphan children in your former homeland, and how'd you get into that? What inspired you to do that, and how'd you get involved with that?
Wow. How do I say this? For a long time, I was quite removed from, the motherland, and the Bosnian culture and the Bosnian people. And I was really focused on, establishing myself, establishing my career, establishing my future, planning for all the things to, get married, have a family, all that type of stuff. And while I was in that state, or that mindset, not much was really happening. I mean, I had a decent job. I had a medical sales job at the time, and there was still, like I said, when I was 16, I decided, and I knew I wanted to become an entrepreneur, have my own business. But it didn't happen until I was 25 years old. It didn't happen until 9 years later. So basically, I at that time, like I said, I had a certain mindset where I just I was kind of playing small. I was definitely playing small. And I took a personal development course which helped me shift my perspective, and broaden my perspective, broaden my view of life, and future, and what I saw for myself was that that man, this one's a big one. I don't even know how to communicate this one. It's a gripping story for me still till this day. Essentially, what I saw is that I was living in a mindset of agreement, meaning I was looking at Bosnia as, there's nothing I can do. It used to be a beautiful country once, and it's unfortunate what happened to Bosnia. And there's nothing you can do. What can you do? I just gotta, who am I? I just gotta worry about me, and Bosnia may not even exist. You never know. And that's what I was sensing with the community that I was around. And with that way of thinking came this moment of realizing, when I expanded my viewpoint, came this moment of realizing that, oh my God, that is the same exact mindset, the same exact thinking that had the war happen. That is the same exact thinking that, you know, had me as the little girl that was there in Bosnia go through that. And I saw for myself that I too would have been someone that would have ignored that little girl that I once was and my baby brother, you know, and it really made me sick to my stomach to realize that. And I basically made a decision and I made a commitment that, I mean, how could you ever live with yourself knowing that, oh my goodness, the thing that impacted your life so much, you know, negatively, that you too possibly could be the cause for that, and therefore, it just had to happen. I just had to make that commitment to be different, to be a cause for something different, something new. And I decided that I'm going to take on making a difference in Bosnia any way that I can. I'm going to take on, you know, healing Bosnia's past and, you know, helping Bosnia flourish. I'm going to do what I can. And it was quite a big shift for me in my life to go from thinking that, you know, there's nothing I can do. Who am I? I'm just one person. You know, it's unfortunate what happened. And, you know, I just got to worry about me. I got to worry about my career and all this stuff to, all right, I'm going to do something. And it was very uncomfortable at first, but just from this standing in this new place and this new commitment, little by little, things started to show up in my life. I started to notice opportunities, and I came across this foundation called Bosnia Foundation, which is making a difference for the youth of Bosnia and providing scholarships to them, orphan youth in Bosnia. And so I just reached out and I asked the founder, hey, you know, I really want to make a difference in Bosnia. I want to be one that could make a bit of difference. And that's how I got involved. She responded to me, and little by little, it's evolved, and now I feel a lot more confident in believing that I can make a difference, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, well, that's a very inspirational story because, I mean, here you are coming full circle. You left that country, you came here for a better life, and now you're making a difference back in that country again through some of the efforts that you're doing, and it's just an amazing, inspirational story. And I love the fact that your company is called Mogu, which means I can. I think that's phenomenal.
Yes, it's my favorite word. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my mantra word. Mogu, mogu, mogu. It's like I can, and it's gotten me out of tough situations before. It's you know, a mantra that gets me to start seeing ways to get out. You know, when I think, oh, I don't know how to do this, it's like, all right, Mogu, I can figure it out. You know.
Yeah, well, for some of the entrepreneurs that might be watching this right now, I mean, a lot of people quite often when you're entrepreneurial, you get overwhelmed, and we always have such grand, you know, huge visions for ourselves.
Mhm.
And so, what would you say to somebody who is maybe either just starting out in an entrepreneurial venture right now, or maybe considering, you know, getting into the entrepreneurial world? What kind of advice would you give them?
Um, the advice that I would give them, something that would make a difference, is it literally starts, in my experience, it starts with just believing in yourself, believing that you can, believing that you can figure out a way to get it done, believing that you deserve it. It really is your mindset. It really starts from what you think you can do, what you think is possible, and therefore your actions and your words and your will follow. So to clarify more, it's you know, to expand that, we only have this one life to live, as far as I know. And if you have this desire, like I had for 9 years to become an entrepreneur, if you have this desire, I always say to myself, I've got nothing to lose. You know, I've got nothing to lose. Let's just give it a try. And when you think about it, you really don't have anything to lose. I mean, there's certain situations with finances you got to be smart about, of course, but when it comes to starting out, you've got nothing to lose. You can start out part-time. You know, you can start out on the weekends, trying to build your brand, build your business, build your product, whatever it is. And the number one thing that makes a difference is believing that you can do it, believing that you should have your dreams, believing that you can be happy, that you should be happy, believing that you deserve it.
Great words of advice, and you know, I have to agree with you. Mindset is so important because it really comes down to whether if you don't believe in yourself, you won't make it happen. But if you do know that you can make it happen and you put in the effort, it will materialize. So it's a great words of wisdom. So let me ask you this. I've seen you at different events where I always see you manage to get to those influential people. I saw you with Les Brown at one event, for example. What's your secret for getting to these influential people? And it seems like you had Les in a very engaging conversation. You were with them for quite a while. It wasn't just like a 2-minute thing. So,
what is my secret? Well, for me, I think that I'm trying to remember how other people see meeting individuals, and because for me it's been such a natural thing. Like, I love meeting people, and I think that I've learned or come across with with my clients or just people I've worked with or people I've tried to help. Basically, they have this concern for what others are going to think of them. Like, they're afraid they're going to get judged. And so the way I look at meeting people is it's a surprise. It's like opening up a present. You never know what you're going to get. And honestly, when it comes to networking or meeting anyone or influential people, you can go and approach someone and say hi and smile, just be genuine. And the worst thing that could happen is, they're going to be cordial and brush you off, maybe, oh, thanks, like maybe they're busy, they have to go, or they've got some issue that they're thinking about on their mind and they don't really want to engage with you. You never know what they're thinking. And so the worst that could happen in that situation is they say, yeah, nice to meet you. Okay, well, talk to you later. Bye. And that's the rejection. No one's gonna scream at you for coming and smiling and saying hello and introducing yourself. And I think people have this imaginary fear that that's what's gonna happen. I haven't seen it happen ever. So, for me, to get more specific, I look at people as that. I do that. I say, hi, I'm Minela. What's your name? Nice to meet you. And I always look at it like a present. Like, you're opening up a present. You don't know what you're going to get. Some, may be small little gifts of pleasure, and some may be like the best gift of your life, your friendship for life, your significant other for life. You never know who you're going to meet. And so as far as meeting Les Brown, I mean, pretty much that's what happened. Hi, I'm Minela. You inspired me, and we chatted for a bit and ended up having dinner together. And I mean, I think it's simple.
Yeah, well, you make it look very easy. So
thank you.
But good for you. So let me ask you, how did you find your passion for the things that you're doing now? How do you find that passion?
Wow. I think that passion, or figuring out your passion, is kind of an ongoing process or an ongoing journey. And what I'm noticing is the more I allow myself, or the more I look for things that make me really happy, the more I feel like I'm living my passion and I'm living my purpose. So because it just energizes me. I'm doing something that I love. I'm still learning to do more of the things that I just love, and staying in that zone. So Um, hmm, what would my advice be? I'm just thinking, thinking ahead right now, thinking what you're gonna say. Uh, well, okay. When I first started my own business, I found myself in, how do I say this? Okay, a little background. I was in medical sales and I was in the sleep industry. So I delayed starting my own business because I didn't know what my passion was. I didn't know what I should do. I was looking for my passion. I was looking for my passion. And I finally made a decision, okay, no more excuses. I want my own business. I'm just going to start with what I know. At least I'll have my own business. We'll figure out the passion. Honestly, that's exactly how I remember saying that to myself, and I remember sharing that with others. And how I got started was I became an independent, um, basically an independent rep sort of thing, or kind of doing some marketing for a medical company, a small medical company in Southern California. And then from there, I came across a opportunity to start my own diagnostic sleep disorder center, which is what I used to do when I was in medical sales. I was marketing for a sleep testing company, testing for sleep disorders, basically. And so I came across that opportunity, and my community, my medical community, kept saying, "Oh, that's a great idea. That you'll be perfect for that. You should do it. You should, do that." And so I took that on, and I took that on, one, because that mantra at that time, I can do it, I can do it, I can do anything, was so strong in me that I was wondering, am I being serious or am I being a little arrogant? Okay. And I honestly challenged myself. I decided to challenge myself. I know I'm saying answering two things in one, but this is a funny little
Well,
tidbit.
you're over-delivering. That's good. We like that.
I'm over delivering. So I challenged myself and I said, okay, am I really capable, Mogu? Am I really Mogu, or am I just talking here? And even though I knew I didn't really want my own sleep lab exactly, I decided to challenge myself. I saw a way that, okay, I could build this into something big. I'm going to go for it. This is a great opportunity. I'm going to go for it. I want to see if I can really do it. And so I took that on, and within when I first took on that partnership and bringing that sleep lab to life, it was a dusty space that wasn't touched for like a year and a half, with bleached out comforters. So it's a sleep lab. There you have beds in there. They diagnose for sleep disorders like sleep apnea. So there was like bleached out comforters. The networking system in there didn't work, and I took that on, and within 3 months I turned it around. Everything was fully working, fully functioning. Redecorated, cleaned it all up, started marketing, and turned it around within 3 months. And I was like, I like that. I guess I can do it. I am capable. I am Mogu when I put my mind to it, And as far as passion is concerned, I put myself in there. My passion at that time was having my own business. And once I had this sleep lab up and running, I realized that it wasn't exactly what I wanted. It wasn't making me happy. It wasn't the dream business that I was somehow imagining in my mind. I realized that I didn't really want a brick and mortar type of business. And that got me, I would say that just taking actions and just putting myself out there within my commitment of being an entrepreneur and being a happy entrepreneur, I discovered, bit by bit, okay, I don't like that so much. I don't like the brick and mortar sleep lab business. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go pursue more of the consulting. And so little by little over the years, I've kind of honed in. I've done that, try it. Okay, I don't really like it, so I'm going to go try something else. And it's been piecing together over the past 3 years. It's been being pieced together as far as what I'm really passionate about. So, and I don't know what would necessarily if passion and purpose are the same thing possibly, but when I'm doing something I'm passionate about, I feel like I'm doing my purpose. So just taking a lot of actions would definitely get someone else way closer to their passion, and definitely pursuing that internal, guidance system. Like, okay, I'm happy, and not bearing something for, okay, I gotta make money. It's like, maybe, okay, I gotta make money. I'm gonna give myself a month here, and in the meantime, I'm gonna work on a transition to something I think is gonna make me happy.
Exactly. No, that's great. You covered a lot of points there, and I really like the fact that you touched on happiness because, it's not all about money. Being an entrepreneur isn't that's not the main goal. It's all about helping people and creating happiness for yourself and other people, and then the money typically will follow if you do that. So that's a great answer, and especially for somebody your age, because you're very wise for considering what you've been through, and it's just phenomenal to see your successes at such an early age.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we need to wrap up this episode, but how would somebody get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me on mogucom.com. That's www.mogucom.com. It's short for Mogu Communications. And I'm here local in Los Angeles, and also Facebook, Minela Tatlic, Minela Tatlic.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure interviewing you and having you here, and I'm sure we'll have you back on in another episode.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and you are amazing, and I wish you much success with your new venture. I think it's beautiful, and it's amazing that you're inspiring people, and you have inspired me, and you've helped me so much. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. And I'm looking forward. I know I'm going to see you soon because we're going to have our Making a Difference meetup in Los Angeles. So for anybody who's listening who lives in Los Angeles, we get together on the third Tuesday of the month, and it's at the Hyatt Regency Century Plaza, and we get like-minded entrepreneurs together. It's absolutely free, and we just share ideas and collaborate. So it's just phenomenal. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and it was great having you, Minela. Thanks again. And I look forward to seeing you in another episode of Entrepreneurs Making a Difference.
Thank you, Mike.